So the other day I was talking with my mom and she was asking me, hizo vitu mnafanyanga mtu akitaka kuelezea anasema nini? So then I realized that we have been maybe explaining using terms that are maybe common to people who use the software that we use. And to make it simpler, maybe I want to explain it in a simple way. So what are we doing? So in simple terms, tunatengeneza cartoons, and when you're categorizing cartoons, they're categorized into two categories depending on how they're made. That is 3D animation and 2D animation. There's also a third one called stop motion animation, but that's a bit different. So the difference between 3D and 2D is that 2D animation, everything is animated on like a 2D plane, like a piece of paper. And in 3D, they're like 3 dimensions. So now you can like, everything is animated in 3 dimensions. You can see characters like in different perspectives. Some popular 2D animations, of it's something like Family Guy, South Park. We have Prince of Egypt, we have Bambi. A lot of old Disney stuff was 2D animation, and 3D animation is stuff like Shrek, The Invincibles, Toy Story. They have a different look compared to 2D. And also, okay, stop motion is where you take characters in the real world, you photograph them frame by frame, so you move them using your hand, use like actual puppets, and then you move them. Some popular movies you've seen using stop motion animation is something like Fantastic Mr. Fox. We have Coraline, that was a really beautiful show. And also, what else? I think those are the ones which I have in mind right now. But in Kenya, I've not seen a lot of people doing that. The only people I've seen is some guys called Inkspace Bureau. They are working on a stop motion film called Hatukufi Bado, which is also currently in production, I think. They also have a fundraising that is ongoing, and they're the guys we got the idea to use Mchanga from, because normally when you have a fundraising, you go to like GoFundMe, but we saw how they did with Mchanga and we thought it was a good idea. You can check them out, Inkspace Bureau. So back to my story. So for us, we are doing 3D animation, and we're using a tool called Blender. Blender is a free and open source tool that is used for 3D animation, design, and everything 3D. And the fact that it is open source, it allows us to do so much with it. I have another video explaining why we chose Blender and the advantages it has over other software. So you can check that out. But we are using 3D animation to tell a certain story, and our story is based around two people, namely Nicole and Musa. They're friends who like have been in campus together. They've been friends for a long time. One friend is like now they're both like on the verge of finishing campus. One friend is starting a music band. He's a musician. He's trying to be a rock musician. And the other friend, Nicole, who has started his internship, is trying to make a career in like the corporate world. He's trying to like make a professional career. Now the story explores both of who they are, the growing pains, and how they make the choices, how the choices affect them, like that period between being in university and starting your own life. And now we'll also explore like the logistics of the band, because now when you get into Musa's life, there's also Ruby and Zafar, who are now his other band members, and the band is called Sabini. And Nicole, his life, where he's trying to build a career, he's trying to create a career life, maybe be a career professional. But now that's the story we're building. It's both of them and also their friends, how they interact with each other, how they build their world. So that is the story we are trying to tell. And our story is it's not like an action film, so it's based on the stories, the narratives of these characters, and it's very character driven. So for us, we are relying heavily on animation to deliver certain emotions. So that is why we chose 3D, and we believe that we can mix 3D with 2D to deliver a certain art style that is not that popular and it's aesthetically pleasing for the viewer. So we want to mix some 2D aspects in the 3D world to create that aesthetic, and then use the tools that Blender already has to help us deliver this character driven story, because now when you're trying to sell emotions, you have to like animate the characters to feel certain way, for the facial animation to be of a certain level. So it's not something easy, because if it was not just for the animation where we're trying to make like emotional animation, it would have been really easy to get a lot of stuff done. But we believe the characters are a very big part of the story, so that is something we are aiming to deliver like at a very good level. We are using the crowdfunding to help us dive fully into production and help us complete the project, because we've already done the characters. Most of the characters are done. We've done a number of the scenes. We've done some animation tests, but we are using a mixture of mocap and keyframed animation. So we've done like a test for some of the characters. We've done some initial voice recordings. We've done actually like a number of initial voice recordings, but once we began production, we've been changing the script here and there, trying to maybe help the voice actors understand their characters better, and also fit the dialogue to match the voice actors to avoid fake dialogue. So it's something that is very hands-on, and we want it to be like a very high production quality movie using the tools that we have. So yeah, that is what we are doing. And we are also working on, not working, but we are also trying to make learning content from what we are doing. So once in a while we try to post tutorials, we post videos of how we do stuff, and just hit tricks here and there of how to achieve different stuff in 3D. So if you are interested in animation or learning animation, you want to see how production works in animation, you can follow us. And even if not you have somebody who knows, likes animation, you can share with them this video. You can share with them this video, and maybe they can follow our journey and see how we do it. We are also working on a course to maybe introduce the basics of Blender for beginners. We were working with Skillco Ground, but at the moment I think they're down. So I think I'll be releasing it on YouTube for free in the near future. And like, share, subscribe, share this with your friend who maybe wants to be, who says they love animation, people who watch a lot of animation, and maybe join us. And if you want to support us, maybe you want to be part of this journey, the link is in our bio. And also, yeah, we've added some stuff to the link. We've added some documents to help you understand the project better. Yeah, and let's see how this goes, and cheers.